I want to move on. This is going to be a hard transition. Hardest transition ever. NBA referee comes out as non-binary. Now this is just wild, you guys. And I want to read this to you from a perspective of what we just went through. There's wars across the world. People are giving money away. Um, Grocery prices, cars. There's so many problems. And then GQ Sports, who I thought was a male magazine until they started putting like transgender people and everything and having like communist political views. And now they're just like NBA referee Shea Flores on becoming the first out trans and non-binary ref in American pro sports. That's not a thing. And you're going to read this story along with me, and you're going to say, do people actually care about referees? The answer is no up front, you guys, in case we're wondering. Are people big on the personalities of referees? I know one referee. I watch a lot of sports. Okay, I know a couple umpires too. You know them, you know their names and their tendencies. But in terms of the way they make this, like this person's a superstar, it has to be. It's written by a woman, Emma Carmichael. Mistake. GQ Sports. It's a men's magazine. I'm going to go ahead and write for Teen Vogue, you guys, or Elle magazine as a man, you guys. That's mistake number one. Not sexist. Shea Flores, and this is written only away a person who thinks that your gender and your sexuality is an accomplishment. That's the only way you write a story like this. Shea Flores is, which mistake. Line one, mistake. Word two, line one. There's no extra S here. Her suitcase sat empty on the bed at her home in Los Angeles. That shouldn't have been a surprise. Exactly. Flores has lived the bulk of their professional life out of a bag and on the road. The second year NBA referee worked at least 1,000 games, and this is a joke, bro. This is an absolute joke. This is a girl, and I just wanted to show the part where I believe it says up and coming. I just accidentally opened a file. I believe it says up. We're going to do the old control F. They're also ready. They're also ready to open up. Flores will become the first out non-binary trans referee in American major professional sports at a time when the ability of trans athletes to compete is under attack globally. Trans athletes have been banned from international competition on both track and field and swimming. No, they have not. We're at the point now where somebody just is so desperate to be liked and be like, oh, the plight of transgender people. They've been held down for 600 years, and finally we are fighting back. And now I have the power and the bravery to come out as a transgender NBA referee, even though I haven't done anything different other than say I'm non binary. They haven't been banned. They are told they cannot compete against women when they're guys. This is the fact. I noticed today when we were watching something, I don't remember what it was anymore, but every time they have to lie, they change the wording, right? Every time they need to they do this marketing of every time they need to sell you something, they have to change the wording. Gender affirming care, Affordable Care Act, birth control pill. No, I don't know what that means. They're not being banned from anything. They're being not allowed to compete against, women. That's a thing. That's a thing that's existed for all of time. They're under attack globally. They've been banned and blah, blah, blah from participating in school sports since 2020. Even if trans athletes are able to compete, they often must do so in the face of intense public scrutiny. You want to know why that they scrutinize guys competing against girls? Because it's guys competing against girls. In order to write this, you have to be a liar. I love these quotes. I just think of having younger queer kids look at somebody who's on a high profile stage and not using it. Flores says, "You're a referee. The game isn't about you." They are not speaking spotlight. You're willing to lie so much that you'll go against the English language, and you'll drop back onto like some older than Shakespearean type language. They are not seeking the spotlight. Who are these people? If you just wrote that down and you weren't a 13-year-old girl with blue hair who hasn't been indoctrinated to this, and you read they are not seeking the spotlight, you'd be like, who are these people that they're talking about? Eldest of 3 kids. When I grew up, this stuff didn't exist because obviously it still doesn't exist. I thought there was a part where it was an up and coming referee. I might have been reading another article, but this huge fluff piece where you take a random person and all they have to say is, I believe that I'm non-binary. I don't think I'm a boy or a girl. And then the applause happens. I mean, look at these pictures. Just look at them. He's spinning the ball on his finger, just take it. Referee who goes to the park. They're acting like this is a professional athlete. This is how important they need this to be. This woman goes to the park in her NBA jersey, which there's no way you're allowed to do, and just lays on a basketball on a bench, something that this person doesn't do. Spins the ball on his finger, something that this girl doesn't do. And then they go into the whole backstory of this person and how difficult their life is. And how the name is Shay, which is probably not her real name. And they're just like, this is the most important thing. This, unattractive, probably 40-year-old woman who doesn't like the fact that nobody cares about what she does because a referee is a thankless job, which is why they gamble on themselves. I'm non-binary now. And either it's this girl's fault for thinking this deserves attention, or the GQ's fault for being like, oh my God, we can do an amazing story on this. And then who are the guys? Who are the guys reading this and being like, this is a great story. Put more of this in, please. I picked up this men's magazine to read about a girl who says she's not actually a girl or a guy. She's somewhere in between. Congratulations, GQ. At this point, burn the building down. Nobody in it, of course. I'm not advocating for harm. There's insurance anyways. Burn GQ down. Unregister the name rights. Re-register them for standing for gender queer. Open up a new magazine called Gender Queer, GQ for short, and then start selling it and see how it does. It never works because they have to siphon it into something else. WNBA can't work on its own because why? It loses money. It has to be supplemented by the NBA. Women's soccer can't work on its own. They had to guarantee them a certain amount of money for the Women's World Cup. Still couldn't sell the seats. Oh my goodness. These things can't survive on their own. You've got Ghostbusters remake. You've got what was the one recently? The Exorcist remake. These things all have to, Little Mermaid. All the woke stuff has to already exist, and then that's how they get it sent out. Otherwise, you see something that says magazine about how women who believe they are boys or something in between pay $1.99 or go to this website. This is what we're all about. Nobody clicks on it. Girls don't click on it. Guys don't click on it. 17 people who want to do a project to impress their overweight liberal arts teacher. That's who clicks on it. Otherwise, it cannot and it will not survive on its own.
Turn it up, Jordan.